Hi, it's Michael Cooper. I'm with the Private to IPO Partnership Network, and we are taking a look at and listening to CEOs who are leading their companies from the private sphere to an exit strategy. These are companies that are top-notch, gold standard in their industries, and know what it takes to grow their company to a successful exit. Welcome to the Private to IPO Partnership Network. And this morning, we are going to be speaking with Etienne Grima, CEO of CardioComm Solutions. CardioComm Solutions has been creating software for ECGs, the heart wave monitoring equipment that you see in hospitals around the world. And CardioComm Solutions has created some leading capture technology and viewing technology to allow patients and doctors to read and view their ECG tests. We are excited to speak with Etienne and look forward to hearing his story on how this new development will propel the company forward. Good afternoon, Etienne. Welcome to the show. Really excited to hear about CardioComm Solutions Inc. and some of the developments that you have been active with in bringing new ECG technologies and products to the market. My understanding is that you have developed very strong technology. You have made it through many of the FDA and the European regulatory processes. Now you have some exciting new developments in the distribution of your products. Can you talk about this?
Sure, thank you. Just to provide a little bit of background, CardioComm Solutions has provided heart rhythm or ECG monitoring technologies to hospitals and doctors all over the world for the past 16, 17 years. These are under multiple jurisdictional clearances. So our software, which is our number one commodity, is a medical device. So that's unusual to have software classified as a medical device. With the software, we are considered a device agnostic company, which means we can work with any number of hardware manufacturers who build any number of types of monitors for the heart to integrate with our software. And that's been a strength of our platform.
Okay.
That's the background. Right now, we have moved the company strictly from providing software as a license to now offering software as a service. We've offered solutions now to enable ECG monitoring capabilities into consumer markets. And that has allowed us to release new software platforms that are medical device cleared solutions for use by consumers without a physician prescription, and also to allow some really interesting devices to be used by consumers, again, without a prescription. And the first of those was the HeartCheck ECG pen. Mm-hmm. We were the first company in North America to receive a clearance for the consumer market. Others have come to market using our FDA clearance as their predicate device example. Somebody has to have an example to do a copy. So we were fortunate, I guess, in being seen as a standard that people use as an example to get their devices cleared. And so now there are a couple of options in the market. And what we have done is looked at these other companies who offer interesting and needed solutions and decided that that's the sort of thing that we should continue to evolve through. And we're providing soon devices that will look and act like those other devices. However, where we will stand alone is that the integrity of the process of managing people's ECGs and their personal information will be done under an FDA-cleared or Health Canada-cleared medical device solution, which is not typical of the other type of solutions being provided, especially those that are quite pervasive in the wellness markets today.
And as you move from the hospital market into the consumer market, getting out to large numbers of people is always a challenge. And picking the right distribution channels is always something that can be very helpful. How have you approached this challenge in introducing your product to a large, broad market?
So initially, it was very heavy lifting indeed. We were the only product out there. We were new. And so it wasn't dissimilar from when the home pregnancy test or the home blood pressure cuff was first introduced to the market. There was a lot of resistance to adopting new technologies, uncertainty by the medical community as to how valuable these solutions are. So one of the strategies that you have when you market is to use time to your advantage. Mm-hmm. So certainly today, blood pressure cuffs and home pregnancy tests are staple home monitoring products used without resistance. So time has helped us. So longevity, being able to capitalize on 17 years of prior medical experience helps, and the 4 years since we brought the product to market has helped. Second, we realize that the current form factor we have, the HeartCheck ECG pen, speaks to a specific market segment. And it took a bit of time for us to make inroads into that market segment. And that market segment are those people who are motivated to manage their health because they are either worried because they're at risk for a cardiac disease, or they're worried because they have a condition that they need to manage. So that market channel has evolved into a pharmacy channel. So in Canada, we have Shoppers Drug Mart, which is the largest retail pharmacy chain, and independent pharmacies are now starting to carry us.
Okay.
And we're going to expand through the United States using the experience and the time we've had in Canada to have refined our message for that. And next is to come up with form factors and designs that don't speak to the use of the device because I am not well or I don't think I'm going to be well, because there's a stigma associated with that. So now we're going to use devices with better medical credibility than accepted form factors that are being used that are manufactured by companies like Fitbit. Okay. Or other worn medical products that are really providing feedback on lifestyle rather than on your actual medical condition. So the next marketing strategy, which we've now initiated in the health and sports market, is to expand the form factor availability to increase the market acceptance for the use of our product. And the sports and health fitness markets are logical because these are people who are generally healthy and want to stay healthy and get healthier.
So the Fitbit craze and all the body sensor companies that have grown out of largely Silicon Valley, they have increased people's awareness about this ability to monitor your body. And you are adding the rugged medical legacy to that equation? Is that fair?
That's right. That's right. So these wellness products have an important place for us all. We eventually, as we typically age, accept the fact that we should be doing more to maintain our health, whether it's becoming more active, watching what we eat. And part of this is monitoring our health. And these products are critically important in helping people move along the line of self-awareness of their health. So Fitbits are great for this, the Apple Watch. All of these products, the ones put out by Samsung, that allow you to try and measure some indication of your wellness. It's not a vital sign monitor because vital signs is medical. Mm-hmm. But you can look at your wellness. Your weight is your wellness. Distance walked is wellness. Calories taken in is wellness. And what they act as is a surrogate measure for your health or your vitality. They serve a purpose because they can give you indications of the direction in which you're moving, good direction or bad direction, or maybe staying where you are. But they are not the last step that people should take to learning more about monitoring their health. They are a good first step in the right direction. Many people may not need more, but eventually the technology will be there to allow people to do things health monitoring-wise that are more relevant to their medical condition.
Okay. And When you sell these devices to consumers, you sell a device originally, and then the monitoring service provides you with a recurring revenue stream. Is that correct?
Yes. So, there's the well-worn phrase of the razor blade model for offering products to the market. Most people who I have encountered would prefer not to be tied to a mandatory recurrent expense. So what we do is we sell our devices, and there's a one-time purchase, and at least with the HeartCheck products, which are computer-based, there's no requirement for an ongoing payment to be made to use the device. You can monitor your heart, your ECG, on your own at no additional cost. However, if you wish an opinion, if you want guidance from an expert, you can access our service, which then allows an ECG report to be done on a fee-for-service basis.
Beautiful.
This is offered globally. With new products that come out that will tie into smartphones with cloud-based backends, there may be the fee that we're quite accustomed to, which is an app download fee, or maybe an annual fee for an app. Then with the optional use of a service to interpret or read or give you feedback on your ECGs. And then there are also automatic algorithms, and automatic algorithms are also helpful, but in the medical world, automatic algorithms are not absolute. They do make mistakes. And from our perspective, as a medical device company, a software engineering company that services the medical industry, we have found that most practitioners do not want to rely on an algorithm. So again, algorithms have a purpose, but they're not the ultimate authority on what's going on. But now sometimes you can provide algorithms on a smaller fee-for-service basis because there's less cost associated with providing that. So we're going to look at all of that. Hardware sales, an app download fee, maybe an annual fee. Definitely we'll continue with the ECG reading services fee. And if we find an algorithm system that we believe is accurate enough, we may implement that as well. Okay. The one thing I want to say is that using our technologies, it's not hard for an individual who takes the time to review what the data is that they're getting back from our devices. It's not hard for them to understand whether their ECG is typical or atypical for them. It is not hard for them to understand if changes are happening, and it's certainly easy for them to take a questionable ECG tracing forward on their own to their own healthcare practitioner, because the ECG reports we produce are basically the same quality of reports that are produced in hospitals. So those doctors who see what you do at home can read that with all, I would say, the same assurity, as long as the ECG was taken properly, as if it was done as an in-hospital ECG.
Beautiful. That really improves the interaction between the patient and their medical provider.
Right. It extends the physician circle of care without increasing their work.
Now, you've been at this for 16 years. Your revenues have grown quite rapidly from a very small base over the last couple of years. And this program is going to take some real capital to roll out. What plans do you have in place to make sure that you are adequately capitalized to push this all forward?
So that's an interesting question, a typical question asked for public companies that are looking to grow. First thing, what I'll say is that we initially, as a software engineering company that did licensing, had a very fixed business model for earning revenue. In the last, I would say, 8 years, when we started to undertake moving into the consumer market, enabling consumers to take ECGs, we went through a large research and development phase, large expenditures, leveraging the medical software licensing revenue to help support that. The world changed in the medical software environment when Windows 7 came out, and now Windows 10 and other advanced releases from Microsoft, such that we've redeveloped our medical software, and today may actually hold a position in the market as one of the few, if any, software solutions that are truly developed to work in the new Microsoft platform. So that revenue is helping us with maintaining our development efforts and our marketing efforts for the HeartCheck pen, but development efforts have come down in cost, marketing efforts have gone up. So we are looking for a few rounds of financing. These will be spread out over time. An immediate need or an immediate ask is to look at funding that will help us to expand on the North American market for the Bluetooth-enabled products that are being worked on now, with the intention that we hope to have multiple FDA clearances applied for these new technologies. And based on our cycle time for reviewing of the HeartCheck pen, which was very fast, we hope to see these FDA clearances move through the system without any undue issues. The next round of financing will be a much larger campaign for marketing and distribution efforts for all the products, and this will be a global effort. And then the final one is to look at developing opportunities for acquisitions or developing syndicate relationships with groups with a plan that we would look to enter the U.S. ECG services market. And so if you look at 17 years of experience of writing ECG software and selling it throughout the world, the people who've been buying it, the companies, are ECG services providers, either hospitals or commercial entities.
Okay.
And so my opinion is, who better than to perhaps enter the ECG services market than the company that has been enabling many others to do this for many years. So with our software technology that is ours and our capacity to work with multiple hardware vendors, we should be able to do this with a lower capital outlay. We have lots of collaborative relationships developed over time, and I think we've got a pretty good track record as a company who adheres to the highest medical standards and FDA and ISO certifications.
Excellent. This is certainly a story that we want to stay on top of, and I would like to circle back with you in a few months and get some update from you and allow our listeners to watch as you grow, and if there's anybody out there that can help you grow, I'm sure they will raise their hand.
That would be excellent.
Thank you very much, Etienne. Look forward to speaking with you in the near future.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.